My child, stop scrolling for just a moment and listen carefully. This is not an interruption. This is not a coincidence. This is not another random message passing through your screen. Heaven has been preparing this moment. Before you arrived here, before your eyes found these words, before you even realized how much you needed to hear this, I already knew this moment would come. I knew the questions hidden in your heart. I knew the burdens you carried in silence. I knew the battles you fought behind closed doors when no one else could see. That is why I am calling your attention now. Do not rush past this message. Do not convince yourself that it is meant for someone else. You are here for a reason. There have been days when you felt forgotten, days when you wondered if your prayers were reaching beyond the ceiling, nights when you lay awake asking questions that seemed to disappear into silence. You tried to stay strong. You tried to keep believing. You smiled in front of others while carrying storms inside your soul. And yet, despite everything, you are still here. You may not realize it, but that matters more than you know. Many people walk away when life becomes difficult. Many abandon hope when answers do not come quickly. Many allow fear to speak louder than faith. But somehow, even through tears, disappointment, and uncertainty, you kept moving forward. You did not quit. You may have stumbled, but you did not quit. You may have doubted, but you did not quit. You may have felt exhausted, but you did not quit. And heaven has taken notice. Every tear you cried has been seen. Every prayer you whispered has been heard. Every act of faith has been recorded. My child, what you have been living through was never meaningless. What felt like delay was accomplishing something deeper than you could see. What felt like silence was not abandonment. What felt like waiting was not rejection. Something has been happening behind the scenes. While you were wondering whether anything was changing, I was working. While you were questioning the future, I was arranging it. While you were struggling to understand the journey, I was preparing the destination. This message is not here to remind you of what you lost. It is here to reveal what is coming. A season is ending. A new chapter is beginning. The pain is not your final chapter. The struggle is not your identity. The delay is not your destiny. Listen carefully, because the next few moments may change the way you see everything you have been through. What you thought was the end may actually be the beginning of the breakthrough you have been praying for. And today, heaven wants you to know that you have not been forgotten, not for a single moment. My child, there is something I need you to understand today. I saw the battle you never told anyone about. I saw the struggle hidden behind your smile. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed. I saw the moments when you said, "I'm fine," while carrying burdens that felt too heavy for your heart. Others only saw the version of you that showed up each day. They saw you continue working, continue serving, continue moving forward. But they did not see the war taking place inside your mind. They did not hear the conversations you had with yourself late at night when fear tried to convince you that nothing would ever change. But I heard them. I was there. I know about the nights when sleep would not come because your thoughts would not stop racing. I know about the mornings when you woke up already exhausted before the day even began. I know about the pressure you carried while trying to remain strong for everyone else. You felt alone. You felt misunderstood. You felt as though no one truly knew how much you were carrying. But I knew. Every moment, every struggle, every silent cry. There were times when you sat in a room full of people and still felt invisible. Times when you longed for someone to understand what you were going through. Times when you wished someone would simply ask how you were really doing. Yet even when no one asked, I knew. Even when no one noticed, I noticed. Even when no one understood, I understood. My child, I saw the disappointments that broke your heart. I saw the doors that closed unexpectedly. I saw the relationships that left wounds behind. I saw the promises that were made and then broken. I saw the prayers that seemed unanswered. And I saw how each disappointment tempted you to stop believing. Yet somehow, you continued. You continued praying when answers were delayed. You continued hoping when circumstances looked hopeless. You continued trusting when everything around you told you not to. Do you understand how precious that is? The world celebrates those who succeed publicly, but heaven celebrates those who remain faithful privately. The world applauds visible victories, But heaven honors hidden endurance, and your endurance has not gone unnoticed. Many people only see the finished story. They do not see the chapters filled with tears, waiting, uncertainty, and sacrifice. They do not see the battles fought in silence. They do not see the courage it took for you to keep going one more day. But I saw it all. When your heart was breaking, I was near. When your strength was fading, I was sustaining you. When fear whispered its lies, I was speaking truth over your life. You thought you were barely surviving, but I was strengthening you. You thought you were falling apart, but I was holding you together. You thought you had reached your limit, but I was carrying you beyond what you thought possible. My beloved, the battle you never told anyone about was never hidden from me. Not one tear was wasted. Not one prayer was ignored. Not one moment of faith was forgotten. Every time you chose to trust instead of quit, heaven recorded it. Every time you stood back up after disappointment, heaven recorded it. Every time you whispered a prayer through your tears, heaven recorded it. And now I want you to hear this truth clearly. The battle did not destroy you. The battle revealed who you truly are. It revealed a faith that refused to die. It revealed a strength that did not come from yourself. It revealed a heart that continued seeking me even in the darkest season. You may still carry scars from what you have been through, but those scars are proof that you survived. You are still standing. You are still believing. You are still here. And because you endured what others never saw, you are being prepared for what others cannot yet imagine. My child, there is a truth you have struggled to see while walking through your journey. Many of the things that broke your heart were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to protect you. I know there were moments when you stood before a closed door and wondered why I did not open it. You prayed. You believed. You hoped with all your heart. Yet the opportunity disappeared. The relationship ended. The plan fell apart. The dream seemed to slip through your fingers. And in those moments it felt like rejection. It felt personal. It felt painful. It felt unfair. You questioned yourself. You questioned your worth. You questioned whether I had forgotten you. But my child, listen carefully. What felt like rejection was actually protection. The door that closed was protecting you from a path that would have wounded you. The relationship that ended was protecting you from pain you could not yet see. The opportunity that disappeared was protecting you from a burden you were never meant to carry. You only saw what you lost. I saw what I saved you from. You saw disappointment. I saw danger. You saw delay. I saw preparation. You saw rejection. I saw protection. There were people you desperately wanted to stay in your life. You prayed for them. You invested your heart in them. You imagined a future that included them. But when they left, it felt as though a piece of you left with them. You cried over their absence. You questioned why I allowed it. You wondered if you had done something wrong. But sometimes I remove people because they cannot go where I am taking you. Sometimes I separate you from what feels comfortable, because comfort is standing in the way of your calling. Sometimes what leaves your life is making room for something greater. Had those people remained, they may have distracted you from your purpose. Had they stayed, they may have delayed your growth. Had they remained close, they may have prevented you from becoming who I created you to be. So what felt like rejection was actually protection. And what about the opportunities that never happened? The job you wanted, the promotion you expected, the dream you planned for years. You thought those things would solve everything. You thought they were the answer. But I saw beyond the moment. I saw what was waiting further down the road. I saw the stress. I saw the compromise. I saw the heartbreak. I saw the obstacles hidden behind the opportunity. And because I love you, I closed the door. Not to punish you, not to deny you, but to protect you. My child, I need you to understand something important. A closed door is not always a sign of my absence. Sometimes it is evidence of my presence. Sometimes my greatest blessings come disguised as unanswered prayers. Sometimes my greatest acts of love appear as painful interruptions. Sometimes the very thing you are asking me to remove is the thing that is protecting your future. One day you will look back and understand why certain plans failed. One day you will see why some relationships ended. One day you will recognize why some opportunities never happened. And when that day comes, you will realize that I was guiding you all along. You will see my fingerprints on every detour. You will see my wisdom behind every delay. You will see my protection behind every disappointment. For I have never been working against you. I have always been working for you, even when you could not understand it, even when it hurt, even when you cried, even when you questioned everything. I was protecting what I placed inside of you. I was protecting your destiny. I was protecting your peace. I was protecting the future I prepared for you before you were even born. So release the bitterness. Release the confusion. Release the need to understand every closed door. Trust me, for if I removed it, there was a reason. If I allowed it to leave, there was a purpose. If I closed the door, it was because a better one was being prepared. What felt like rejection was never the end of your story. It was the beginning of my protection. And soon, my child, you will see why I said no to what you wanted. Because I was preparing to give you something far greater than you ever imagined. My child, I know there were seasons when you felt like everything was falling apart. You looked at your life and saw pieces scattered across the ground. Plans that failed, expectations that collapsed, relationships that changed, prayers that seemed unanswered. You wondered how so much could go wrong when all you wanted was to move forward. There were moments when you asked me, "Why is this happening?" Moments when you questioned whether you had taken a wrong turn. Moments when you feared that your best days were behind you. But today, I need you to hear my voice clearly. You were not being broken. You were being prepared. What looked like destruction was actually construction. What looked like loss was actually transformation. What looked like an ending was actually preparation for a new beginning. You thought I was taking things away, but I was making room. You thought I was delaying your future, but I was strengthening you for it. You thought I was silent, but I was working deeper than words could explain. My child, if I had given you everything you prayed for when you first asked, you would not have been ready to carry it. The blessing would have arrived before the character required to sustain it. The opportunity would have appeared before the wisdom needed to manage it. The breakthrough would have come before the faith needed to protect it. So I allowed the process, not because I wanted to hurt you, because I wanted to prepare you. You thought the waiting was punishment, but I was teaching patience. You thought the uncertainty was abandonment, but I was teaching trust. You thought the struggle was proof of failure, but I was building endurance. Every difficult season carried a lesson. Every obstacle carried a purpose. Every challenge carried a hidden gift. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Nothing escaped my attention. Do you remember the moments when you felt weak? The moments when you thought you could not continue? Those were the moments I was teaching you to depend on me rather than your own strength. You thought your strength was disappearing, but I was replacing self-reliance with faith. You thought you were losing control, but I was teaching you surrender. You thought everything was collapsing, but I was building a foundation that could not be shaken. My child, gold is not refined without fire. A warrior is not strengthened without battle. A tree cannot grow deep roots without enduring storms. And you could not become who I created you to be without walking through the process that shaped you. The pain was never the purpose. The preparation was. The tears were never the destination. The growth was. The struggle was never your identity. The transformation was. You thought you were being broken, but I was refining you. You thought you were being forgotten, but I was developing you. You thought you were being delayed, but I was positioning you. There were things inside you that could only emerge through pressure. A deeper faith, a stronger spirit, a greater compassion, a wisdom that cannot be learned from comfort. The person you are becoming today could not have been created through easy seasons alone. That is why I stayed with you in the valley. That is why I walked beside you through the uncertainty. That is why I strengthened you when you wanted to quit. Because I saw who you would become long before you could see it yourself. While you were focused on surviving the day, I was preparing your future. While you were asking for immediate relief, I was building lasting strength. While you were worried about the present moment, I was arranging the next chapter of your life. My beloved, one day you will look back at this season and understand. You will see that what felt unbearable was actually shaping you. You will see that what felt unfair was actually preparing you. You will see that what felt like breaking was actually becoming. And when you finally stand in the place I have prepared for you, you will realize that every lesson, every delay, every challenge, and every tear served a purpose. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never being destroyed. You were being prepared for something greater than you could imagine. And now, because you endured the process, you are stronger than you were before, wiser than you were before, closer to me than you were before, ready for what is coming next. For the season of preparation is not lasting forever. The season of fulfillment is drawing near. Mid-video, CTA, if this message is speaking to you. My child, before we continue, I want you to pause for a moment. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, if these words describe battles you have been fighting in silence, if you feel that I am reminding you that you have not been forgotten, then do not keep scrolling. Instead, make this simple declaration of faith in the comments. Lord, I still trust you, not because everything is perfect, not because every prayer has been answered, not because every question has been resolved, but because deep in your heart, you know I have carried you this far, and I will not abandon you now. And if this message is encouraging you today, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who may be struggling through a difficult season. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next may be exactly the confirmation you have been praying for. Your story is not over. In fact, heaven is just beginning to unveil what comes next. My child, there is something happening around you that you may not yet fully recognize. The shift has already begun. You keep looking for a dramatic sign. You keep waiting for a sudden moment when everything changes overnight. You imagine that when my promises begin to unfold, there will be an unmistakable signal, a grand announcement, a visible breakthrough that everyone can see. But that is not how I always work. Many of my greatest works begin in silence. Many of my greatest miracles start before anyone notices. Many of my greatest blessings are already moving long before they become visible. And that is exactly what is happening now. Even now, I am aligning things on your behalf. Even now, I am opening doors you cannot yet see. Even now, I am arranging conversations, opportunities, and connections that will play a role in your future. Even now, I am moving obstacles out of your path. You may not see it, but the shift has already begun. For so long, you have focused on what has not happened yet. You have looked at your circumstances and wondered why everything still seems the same. You have questioned whether your prayers have made any difference. You have wondered if anything is changing at all. But my child, not everything that changes can be seen immediately. A seed does not break through the soil the moment it is planted. Roots grow before fruit appears. Preparation happens before manifestation. And that is where you are right now. The roots are growing. The foundation is forming. The shift is happening beneath the surface. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. Do not mistake waiting for stagnation. Do not mistake hidden work for absent work. I am moving in places you cannot reach. I am opening doors you cannot force open. I am creating pathways that no human effort could create. The breakthrough you seek is not dependent on your strength alone. It is being carried forward by my hand. There were things that had to be removed before new blessings could arrive. There were habits that had to be broken. There were fears that had to be confronted. There were wounds that had to be healed. There were lessons that had to be learned. And now, because you remained faithful through the process, the season is beginning to change. You may notice it first in small ways. A new sense of peace, a new confidence, a new opportunity, a new connection, a new desire to move forward. Do not ignore these signs. They are evidence that the shift has already begun. The enemy wants you to believe that nothing is happening. He wants you to grow discouraged. He wants you to quit just before the breakthrough arrives. But I tell you now, do not give up. You are closer than you realize. Closer than you were yesterday. Closer than you were last month. Closer than you have been in a very long time. The prayers you thought were delayed are moving toward fulfillment. The doors you thought were permanently closed are being revisited. The promises you thought were forgotten are being activated. For I am not finished with your story. The chapter of struggle is not the entire book. The chapter of waiting is not the final page. The chapter of disappointment is not the conclusion. A new chapter is beginning. A chapter marked by restoration. A chapter marked by growth. a chapter marked by answered prayers and fulfilled promises. So lift your head, my beloved. Do not allow fear to convince you that nothing is changing. Do not allow doubt to blind you to what I am doing. Trust me when you cannot see. Believe me when you cannot understand. Follow me even when the path seems unclear. Because the shift you have been praying for is no longer something in the distant future. It has already begun. And soon, what is happening in the unseen will become impossible to ignore in the visible. My child, for a long time you have stood before what seemed like a wall. You prayed, you waited, you believed, yet the answer appeared delayed. You watched others move forward while you remained in the same place. You saw opportunities open for others while your own path seemed blocked. There were moments when you wondered if the door you had been praying for even existed anymore. But today I want you to hear me clearly. The door you have been praying for is near, closer than you think, closer than it appears, closer than your circumstances suggest. You have spent so much time looking at what is not happening that you have almost missed the signs of what is beginning to happen. The preparation has been taking place. The alignment has been taking place. The positioning has been taking place. And now the season is changing. My child, I never promised that every door would open. Some doors were never meant for you. Some opportunities would have distracted you. Some paths would have taken you away from your purpose. That is why I closed certain doors. That is why I redirected your steps. That is why I asked you to wait. Not because I wanted to withhold good things from you, but because I was preserving the right thing for the right time. The door I have prepared is different. It is not built upon fear. It is not built upon compromise. It is not built upon human approval. It is built upon my purpose for your life, and what I open, no one can shut. There are blessings already moving toward you. People you have not met yet. Conversations you have not had yet. Opportunities you cannot yet see. Answers that are already on their way. While you were praying, I was preparing. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were questioning, I was arranging. Nothing has been wasted. Not the waiting, not the tears, not the disappointments. Every part of the journey has been leading to this moment. Perhaps the door you are praying for is healing. You have carried wounds for so long that they began to feel permanent. But restoration is near. Perhaps the door is provision. You have worried about resources, finances, and stability. But I am still your provider. Perhaps the door is purpose. You have wondered why you are here and what your life truly means. But clarity is coming. Perhaps the door is peace. You have lived under pressure, anxiety, and uncertainty. But I am leading you toward a deeper rest than you have known before. Whatever the door may be, do not stop believing now. Do not allow discouragement to steal your expectation. Do not allow delay to convince you that denial is coming. The enemy wants you to quit at the very moment breakthrough is approaching. He wants you to surrender just before the answer arrives. He wants you to focus on what has not happened rather than what I am doing. But, my child, remain faithful, remain hopeful, remain expectant. The reason the battle has been so intense is because your future carries value. The reason the waiting has been so difficult is because what is coming carries significance. The reason you have faced so much resistance is because the enemy fears what happens when you finally step through the door I have prepared. I tell you now, lift your eyes beyond your present circumstances. Look beyond today's struggle. Look beyond today's uncertainty, for the story is not ending where you are standing. A new chapter is waiting. A new opportunity is forming. A new season is approaching. The door you have been praying for is no longer a distant dream. It is drawing near. And when it opens, you will understand why I asked you to trust me through every delay. You will understand why certain doors had to close. You will understand why the process took longer than you expected. And you will discover that my timing was not late. It was perfect. So hold on a little longer, my beloved. Stay faithful. Stay prayerful. Stay close to me. Because the door you have been praying for is nearer than you realize, and the breakthrough waiting on the other side is greater than anything you have imagined. My child, as you draw closer to the season I have prepared for you, there is something you must understand. Not every battle is meant to stop you. Some battles are meant to distract you. Some battles are meant to discourage you. Some battles are meant to convince you to quit before you reach the breakthrough. And one of the enemy's greatest weapons is fear. Fear has been whispering to you for longer than you realize. What if nothing changes? What if you fail? What if you are disappointed again? What if you are not strong enough? What if the promise never comes? These questions may sound harmless, but they are designed to pull your eyes away from me and place them on your circumstances. Fear always focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on who is in control. My child, fear wants to make you believe that your future will look exactly like your past. It wants you to expect more disappointment, more delays, more heartbreak, more struggle. But I am not calling you to live according to fear. I am calling you to walk by faith. Remember all the times you thought you would not make it, yet you did. Remember all the obstacles you thought would defeat you, yet you survived them. Remember all the seasons that felt impossible, yet I carried you through them. The same God who sustained you then is sustaining you now. The same hand that protected you yesterday is protecting you today. The same voice that guided you before is still speaking. Fear will tell you to stay where it feels safe. Faith will invite you to step where I am leading. Fear will tell you to hold back. Faith will tell you to trust. Fear will tell you to expect failure. Faith will remind you of my promises. Do not allow fear to steal what is coming. Do not allow doubt to uproot the seed I have planted in your heart. Do not allow past disappointments to become the lens through which you view your future. Your past is not your prophecy. Your setbacks are not your destiny. Your wounds are not your identity. I am doing a new thing, and new things require new trust. There will be moments when you are tempted to retreat, moments when moving forward feels uncomfortable, moments when uncertainty tries to overwhelm your mind. But that is precisely when you must remember who walks beside you. You are not walking alone. You are not fighting alone. You are not carrying the burden by yourself. I am with you. When fear rises, bring it to me. When anxiety speaks, answer it with my truth. When doubt appears, remember what I have already done in your life. The enemy cannot stop what I have ordained. He can only try to convince you to stop believing in it. That is why you must guard your heart, guard your thoughts, guard your faith, because what is ahead of you is too valuable to surrender to fear. The breakthrough is too close. The healing is too important. The restoration is too significant. The purpose is too great. My child, do not stand at the edge of a new season and allow fear to talk you out of the very blessing you have been praying for. Lift your eyes, lift your faith, lift your expectations. For I have not brought you this far to abandon you now. The path ahead may still require courage, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to trust me, even when fear tries to speak louder. So silence the voice of fear. Reject the lies of doubt. Hold tightly to my promises, and keep moving forward. Because what is coming is greater than what is behind you, and fear must not be allowed to steal the future I am preparing for you. My child, I know there were many times when you asked a question that seemed to have no answer. Why is it taking so long? You asked it during the sleepless nights. You asked it when another door closed. You asked it when another prayer appeared unanswered. You asked it when you watched others receive what you had been waiting for. And in those moments, waiting felt painful. Waiting felt unfair. Waiting felt endless. But today I want to show you something you could not see while you were in the middle of the process. The wait was necessary, not because I wanted to withhold blessings from you, not because I had forgotten you, not because your prayers lacked faith. The wait was necessary because preparation takes time. My child, if a farmer planted a seed and demanded fruit the next day, there would be disappointment. Growth happens beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible above the ground. The same is true in your life. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were wondering, I was preparing. While you were questioning, I was positioning. You saw delay. I saw development. You saw lost time. I saw necessary growth. You saw an obstacle. I saw preparation. There were lessons you needed to learn. There was wisdom you needed to gain. There was healing that needed to take place inside your heart. Had I given you everything immediately, you might have received the blessing but missed the transformation. And I care about who you are becoming just as much as what you receive. The person who began this journey is not the same person listening today. You have grown stronger. You have become more patient. You have learned to trust me in ways you never did before. You have discovered that your faith can survive difficult seasons. That growth is valuable. That growth matters. That growth required time. The weight also protected you from things you were not yet ready to carry. Some blessings come with responsibility. Some opportunities require maturity. Some doors require preparation before they can be entered successfully. If I had opened certain doors too early, the pressure behind them might have overwhelmed you. If I had answered certain prayers immediately, you may not have been ready to sustain the answer. So I prepared you first, not to frustrate you, to strengthen you, not to delay your future, to secure it. My child, there are things you understand today that you would not have understood a year ago. There is wisdom inside you that only came through experience. There is strength inside you that only came through endurance. There is faith inside you that only came through waiting. The wait was not empty. The wait was productive. The wait was shaping you into the person capable of carrying what is coming next. One day you will look back and thank me for the seasons you once questioned. You will understand why the timing mattered. You will understand why the process could not be rushed. You will understand why certain answers arrived exactly when they did. And when that day comes, you will see that I was never late. I was never absent. I was never ignoring your prayers. I was carefully preparing both the blessing and the person who would receive it. So do not regret the waiting season. Do not despise the process. Do not measure your life by how quickly things happened. Measure it by how faithfully I guided you through every step. For the wait was not standing between you and your future. The wait was building the foundation for it. And now, my beloved, because the preparation is nearly complete, you are about to understand why every moment of waiting was worth it. My child, there will come a day when you look back on this season and see it differently than you do now. Today, you see the struggle. You see the waiting. You see the unanswered questions. You see the scars left behind by battles that seemed never-ending. But one day, you will see the story I was writing all along, and it will become your testimony. The very thing that once made you cry will become the reason someone else finds hope. The chapter that almost made you quit will become the chapter that proves my faithfulness. The season that felt like defeat will become evidence of my victory in your life. Right now, you may still be in the middle of the journey. You may not have all the answers. You may not fully understand what I am doing, but I do. I can already see the pages ahead. I can already see the restoration. I can already see the healing. I can already see the breakthrough. I can already see the moment when you will realize that every tear had a purpose. My child, testimonies are not written in comfort alone. They are written through perseverance. They are written through faith. They are written through the decision to keep trusting when circumstances make no sense. And that is exactly what you have been doing. You kept going when it would have been easier to quit. You kept believing when doubt tried to take over. You kept praying when silence surrounded you. You kept trusting me when you could not see the outcome. That faith is writing a story greater than you realize. One day, someone will hear what you have overcome and find courage to keep moving forward. One day, someone will see the peace in your life and ask how you survived the storm. One day, someone will witness the blessing and never realize how many battles were fought before it arrived. But you will know, and you will remember. You will remember the nights when you thought you could not continue. You will remember the moments when you felt alone. You will remember the prayers whispered through tears. And then you will see how I was present in every single moment. My beloved, do not judge your story by the chapter you are currently living. The story is not finished. The breakthrough is still unfolding. The promise is still advancing. And the testimony is still being written. So keep walking. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Because the pages ahead are filled with evidence that I never left you, never forgot you, and never stopped working on your behalf. Soon, what was once your struggle will become your testimony, and what was once your pain will become a powerful reminder of my faithfulness. My child, as this message comes to a close, I want you to remember one thing above all else. This is not the end of your story. The chapter you are living in right now may feel difficult. It may feel uncertain. It may even feel like you have been carrying the same burdens for far too long. But do not mistake your current chapter for the final chapter. I am still writing. I am still working. I am still moving on your behalf. The pain you experienced is not the conclusion. The waiting is not the conclusion. The disappointment is not the conclusion. I have not brought you this far to leave you here. Every battle you endured has strengthened you. Every tear you cried has watered the seeds of something greater. Every moment you chose faith over fear has moved you closer to the purpose I have prepared for you. When you look back one day, you will see that what appeared to be delays were actually divine appointments. What appeared to be closed doors were actually redirections. What appeared to be setbacks were actually steps forward in my plan. So do not lose heart. Do not allow temporary circumstances to define your future. Lift your eyes beyond what you can currently see. There is still healing ahead. There is still restoration ahead. There is still joy ahead. There is still purpose ahead. The same God who carried you through every storm will carry you into every promise. The same God who strengthened you in the valley will walk with you on the mountaintop. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not defeated. You are loved. You are chosen. You are being led. So walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing that I am with you. For the story is not ending in struggle. The story is not ending in sorrow. The story is not ending in defeat. The best chapter has not been lost. The best chapter is still being written. And what I have prepared for you is greater than anything you have left behind. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts. Thank you for being with us through every trial, every delay, every tear, and every battle that no one else could see. Lord, for every person listening to this prayer, I ask that you fill their heart with peace. Replace fear with faith, anxiety with confidence, and discouragement with hope. Remind them that they are not alone and that you have never left their side. Father, heal every wounded heart. Restore what has been broken. Strengthen those who are weary and encourage those who feel like giving up. Let your presence surround them and remind them that their story is still unfolding according to your perfect plan. Open the doors that you have prepared for them. Guide their steps with wisdom. Protect them from anything that would distract them from your purpose. Give them the courage to trust you even when they cannot see the full picture. Lord, thank you that every season of waiting has meaning and every struggle has purpose. Thank you that breakthrough, restoration, and blessing are in your hands. Today we choose to trust you completely. We place our future, our worries, our dreams, and our lives into your loving hands. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Before you leave, I want to invite you to make a declaration of faith. If this message spoke to your heart today, if you believe that God has been carrying you through every battle, every delay, and every difficult season, then type these words in the comments. I will not give up. God is leading me forward. Let that declaration be more than a comment. Let it be a statement of faith, a reminder that your struggle is not your ending, a reminder that your breakthrough is closer than it appears, a reminder that God is still working, even when you cannot see it. And if this message encouraged you, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who may be fighting a silent battle right now. You never know whose faith might be strengthened by a single message of hope. If you have not already subscribed, join our growing community of believers as we continue seeking God's guidance, encouragement, and truth together. Most importantly, remember this: you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not alone. God sees you, God loves you, God is working on your behalf. Keep praying, keep trusting, keep moving forward, and never forget the best chapter of your story is still ahead of you. God bless you.